want to be anything like them. I don't want their paperwork. I don't want their name. I don't want anything. I don't honor anything they honor. I don't want to even give them any kind of power. The least amount of I have to. I don't even acknowledge these people because they are not real. They have invaded this place, but at the end of the day, they are not real, and they're going to destroy themselves. God's children will be in a cut like this while they destroy themselves with their own ways. They're going to destroy themselves with their own ways. They're doing it as we speak. Your job is to proclaim the kingdom of God in truth and live that. You can't proclaim God in truth if you're sitting there trying to be one with their system. You trying to beat the white man at what he do. You trying to beat the devil at what he do. I want citizenship in hell. I'm going to give me citizenship in hell. Yeah, the devil run that bitch, but I'm going to have rights in that motherfucker. I'm going to walk through hell and have rights up in this bitch. That they can't bother me. When you have this blood on you, when you have this truth on you, no matter where you go, you're going to be an enemy. Because what you stand for, you would not stand for if you truly were Christ consciousness. No matter where you go, you are their enemy. You will be hated for no reason. You say my name to someone, you're going to get hated for that. Because in law and prophecy, it's right there. You cannot serve two masters. You will be devoted to one or hate the other. You gotta choose. You're saying I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna serve God and my lower self. No, you have to be devoted to one. You can't do that. You say I'm gonna get this paperwork, and they're not gonna bother me because I got a piece of paper. Nigga, that piece of paper don't mean nothing. Haven't you figured? Nothing even in their system, they'll find a way around that. They'll make a legislation around your motherfucking paperwork. Nigga, they made the paperwork. They talking about the devil here. They don't care about your paperwork. All they care about is frequency. The universe speaking three things: energy, frequency, and vibration. That's all they care about. You can have all the paperwork you think you got. If they don't want you there, you will never be equal. They will never give you equal rights. Because it ain't the objective. The objective is that you rise above them, not become them. You don't become them, you rise above them. I don't want to be a part of your club. I don't want to get paperwork to be and show like, look, okay, I got this paperwork. I'm just like you, master. I don't want to be like you. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Matter of fact, your shit is falling and I'm going to laugh at you until then. I'm going to proclaim the kingdom of God and laugh at you niggas until you die because you live in a fake world. See me? I'm with the trees. I'm with the bees. I'm with all the other species on this planet that's not fucking with y'all. And they don't need to identify themselves. Just like I don't need to identify myself because you going up to a fucking line saying, who are you? What is your nationality? What is your nationality, you fucking bird? You fucking deer. What is your nationality? No, I'm one with that. I act like them. I think like them. I don't think like that. That's all it is. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. I'm not gonna go to no maximum.
That's all I'm afraid with.
Yeah, I'm talking about the most you're gonna get from. I'm talking about passing through, not living in it. You're talking about getting paperwork to be free within it. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around y'all. I have nothing to say to you. I have nothing to talk about. I can't even stand your frequency. Me and you ain't the same. I got to get far away from you. I got to talk to you through this phone because I can't even talk to you even through this phone. I got to hang up and block y'all niggas. You can't even touch my frequency. I'm here to bring a message for your subconscious. So that not you in particular. I'm talking to the people listening. I'm not talking about you. I think that you have the possibility to actually be free if you can understand past this liberation you're talking about through paperwork. I want you to think about where your paperwork comes from. I want you to see how silly this system is so that you can laugh at this shit. I want you to know that your money, your dollar is made from cotton and linen. I want you to know that this paperwork that you sign the blue paper to get the red paper, then take it to the blue paper to get the green paper, then get the blue paper, and then now you got the paper. And if you show the paper, they don't give a fuck about the papers. It's guns behind that shit, dog. And you might get away with it if they don't fucking listen. At any time they ready, you will never be one with these people, bro. This is the devil. You playing the devil's game. Actually, you taking in the mark of the beast. That's the mark. Your straw man is the mark of the beast. Your straw man is the mark of the beast, dog. Think about it. It connects you to what? Banks.
Oh,
That's how you get money.
I absorb. I appreciate
Your straw man is the mark of the beast. Your straw man is the mark of the beast. Always think about that. Your straw man is the mark of the beast. Don't forget that. Looking like Eliana. I love myself. Peace. Your straw man is the mark of the beast. That's what connects you all to the identity. When you go up to somebody and say, identify yourself, what you're saying is, you're not you, right? Nigga, I'm right in front of you. I'm right here. I'm me. What do you want to know about me? What, I'm a Taurus with a Leo moon. Taurus, no, nigga, identify yourself. Oh, you want me to give you a piece of plastic with my face on it attached to a number, and then to get, oh, I forgot, we're playing a fucking game here. Yeah, let me get you this, yo, here you go. Okay, so you're a Legio Bishop, your number is this, and your number goes back to a bank account. Okay, so this is who you are. That's not who you are. That being on that paper is not who you are. Don't talk to me about nationality. You have to live in the real world, where you really are. A motherfucker trying to tell me to identify myself and I'm standing right here. Motherfucker, you crazy? Anything in nature, you go up to him and say, who are you? What are you? Identify yourself. Well, who do you think I am? Well, you better be the motherfucker with a number attached to it so we can tag you back to your slave name, to your slave master, to your owner. We need to know who you are within the system, within the main. We need to know who you are within that matrix, that identity, that strong. That's who you are, bitch. If you don't know who the fuck you are, them niggas are happy playing that game with them. Motherfucker be like, who am I? That alone is a trick of the mind. When they summon you by that name, bitch, that's not who I am. I'm God. I'm a living being, nigga. I'm free. I'm a human, nigga. I'm a human. I'm standing in front of you. I have every right to walk this earth. Why are you imprisoning the earth? We have every right to walk this earth, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? This is why some people say this is a prison state. This is a hell, because we're in a prison state and you have to identify yourself within their system that they created on top of the matrix that was already here. But we don't do the paper game. Neither did the Christ conscious of that day. And Jesus was getting chased. He got locked up. Jesus could have got his paperwork right. Did Jesus get his paperwork right? No, motherfucker. He said, look at the birds of the fields. He said, look at the flowers. You would know, you would hear it, and you would conform to that. That's what you was chosen to do. At least you be enabled by the Father. Will you ever be able to receive the kingdom of God? You have to be enabled. Many come, but many leave. You have to be enabled. It has to be in you to do it. You can't fake this shit. Some people call me the Anunnaki. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the Anunnaki. Whatever it is Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness. So you are in prison within Babylon. Now we starting to see what Babylon is. Huh? Now we starting to see what Babylon is. And yes, Babylon is everywhere you go, but less in certain places than others. Jesus fled to certain lands where he could blend in. Did he not? He freed the lands where he could blend in. Where I tell you to go? To places you could blend in. I told you where to go. Jesus has freed into lands where he could blend in with the people. I told you the two places we go. I told you already. You don't see it. You don't see the Christ conscious before you. It has been already written. It already has been written. The question still stands as well. So big game. John 15, it says, if the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. Here we go. Here we go. Here come more truth. It's just right there for you. It's so simple. It's right in front of you. It was taught to you, but you never knew how to read it right. And I'm going to refer it to Matthew 10. We're going to refer back from Matthew 10 and John 15. Watch this. Matthew 10, verse 16. It's funny, it's 16. Ooh, put both of them in there. Watch this. Matthew 10, verse 16, and John 15. Watch this. Because we got two pages open. And Matthew 10, 16, I'm sending you out I'm sending you out like sheep amongst wolves. Therefore be shrewd as snakes and innocent as a dove. Be on guard. You will be handed over to the local councils and flogged in the synagogue. See, the Christ conscious could have told you, hey man, get your paperwork. So when you walk through, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be okay. No, the Christ conscious ain't tell you this. I'm sending you out as sheep amongst wolves. This is the Christ conscious. I'm sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be shrewd as a snake and innocent as a dove. Be on guard. You will be handed over to the local councils and be flogged in the synagogues. On my account, you will be brought before governors and kings as witnesses to them and to Gentiles. But when you are arrested, now why would you be arrested if your paperwork right? Now why would you be arrested if your paperwork right? If you had your nationality, you knew, why would you be arrested? So did the Christ conscious tell you to get your nationality done by the locals? Did he say, no, the Christ conscious never told you to do that? Because that's ain't the Christ conscious. That's the lowest self-mind, out of fear. Pagans think about that shit. Now watch this, I'm just trying to show you Christ conscious. But when they arrest you, do not worry about what to say and how to say it. At that time, you will be given what to say. And for it will not be you speaking, but the Spirit of the Father speaking through you. Brothers will betray brothers to death, and fathers his child. Children will rebel against their parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by everyone because of me. Say my name in the black community. Say it. I dare you. I guarantee you will see a spirit come up out of your parents. Say my name in your home. Say my name in your home. Say Nature Boy. Say Chief. Say Carbonation. Say anything like that. Say it, I dare you. Say it in your home and see what kind of spirit pops up. You're going to be hated because of my name. And the hate that's going to pop will arise when you speak my name. And you're going to wonder, like, what kind of shit? What the fuck? All I did was say the nigga name. Damn. There's power in that name. Say it. Say it in the black community. Say it. Say it. You will not accept me. You will not accept you if you accept me. It's been written already, bro. You see the amount of hate. It's one thing to disagree with someone and be like, oh yeah, we don't fuck with that nigga. No, it will be hate that will arise. You will feel hate come out of the people that you speak me to, that you proclaim me to. And if you stand up with me, you will be hated in the black community, be casted out. This is not a game. As soon as you say my name in your house, oh motherfuckers gonna be like, fuck. You'll see it. You will be hated by everyone because of me. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. This is the Christ consciousness. When you are persecuted in one place, flee to another. You've been watching that, haven't you? How many places have we fled to? How many places have we been persecuted in? When you are persecuted in one place, flee to another. You witnessed this. You know who I am. You witnessed it. It's all written right here. Same thing happening again. Truly I tell you, you will not. So you see, this is all happening already. It all happened. When you are persecuted in one place, persecuted, flee to another. The student is not above the teacher, nor is the servant above his master. It is not enough to the student be like the teacher and servant like the master. If the head of the house is called Beelzebub, because that's what they call Jesus, a demon. You didn't know they called Jesus Beelzebub. That's what they called Jesus at that time. What did they call me? A demon. Elio, whatever they want to call it. They call me a demon. They actually have my name as demon. It's all analogous. It's right in front of you. How much more of the members of your household they call everybody with me demons? So do not be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed. Here it is. It's let you know what you're supposed to be doing, Christ conscious. If you are the Christ conscious, if you are the children of God, this is right here about to let you know what you're supposed to be doing. So do not be afraid of them. This is the instructions of the Christ conscious. This is what you would be doing. For proclaiming the kingdom. He sent you out as sheep among wolves. Nigga, that's what you see in these rooms. These chat rooms, wolves. You see them when they come around, you see them. And when the light come on, where they go? Scattering out like roaches. So do not be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight, what was whispered in your ear, it is. What I teach you, you're supposed to proclaim and reflect that light. Jesus always said, you go forth and proclaim the kingdom of God. That's what he told his disciples. You must proclaim the kingdom of God. If you don't know what the word proclaim means, that means to announce with due emphasis publicly. So if you are not publicly announcing and teaching, because you become a disciple, you are teaching this knowledge. You're supposed to be reflecting the light, proclaiming the kingdom, right online publicly. What the internet for? You're being recorded. All your deeds are being recorded. When you see Carbonation steady working. The Christ consciousness has returned. It's steady working. It's right there, Carbonation TV, the B6 diet. We're working. Constantly proclaiming, publicly, not private. It's say private, say public. Go look, go proclaim. I am God. And teaching the 5 sciences to prove that we are God is what the disciples are supposed to be doing in a modern day time. Carbonation is the Christ consciousness return. Proving it right now. So do not be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight. When I whisper in your ear, proclaim from the roofs. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather be afraid of the one who destroys both the soul and body in hell. Now we're going to flip back. We're going to flip back to John 15. If the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. We seen what happened with Nana. Come on, man. The world hates you. When she was with us, they hated her. But keep in mind, it hated me first. And it says in verse 19, if you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. Give us back. Velvet. You would have watched it. It was clear as day they hated her. And as soon as she went back over there, they loved it. They loved her like they were like her own. You just watched this girl leave yesterday. It was clear that she had a demon. But as soon as she went over there, you seen what they did. If you belong to the world, they would love you as its own. But as it is, you do not belong to the world. But I have chosen you out of the world. This is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obey my teachings, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name. For they do not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. So you ask yourself, gee, why are you on my... You know, my disciples always come to me and say, why are you talking to them? Why are you talking to them? Get back to the teaching. You don't think Jesus was told that? You don't think Jesus was told that? His disciples asked Jesus the same. You know how y'all always be like, Chief, get back to the teaching. We want to hear teaching. Matthew 13 clearly says it. The same day Jesus went out to the house and sat by the lake, such a large crowd gathered around him. These were not his disciples. These were motherfucking trolls. Damn near all of Jesus' mission, he was entertaining trolls. Such a large crowd gathered around him that he got out the boat and sat in it. While all people stood on the shore, because people was watching Jesus, he was intrigued. Interesting motherfucker. They loved to hate him. They want to trick him. They try to find things against him. They hated him. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. And he was scattering seeds, and some fell along the path, and the bird came and ate it. Some fell along the rocky place where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But the sun came up and the plant was scorched and withered because they had no roots. Other seeds fell amongst thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still the other seeds fell on good soil, which produced a crop. 160, 30 times was shown. So these niggas didn't know what the hell Jesus was talking about. Jesus was talking about to these people, but these people didn't understand what the fuck he was talking about. And he says, the disciples came to him and said, ask him, yo, my nigga, why are you speaking to these people in parables? Why are you even talking to these people? This is what the disciples was. The disciples was jealous because Jesus was giving his attention to these motherfuckers. The Christ conscious was giving its attention to these people. And so in verse 10, the disciples came to him and said, why are you speaking to these people in parables? And Jesus said, because the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. You see, these wasn't God's children. Why was Jesus talking to someone that didn't have the kingdom? Why was he talking to these people that weren't? He said, because the knowledge and the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more. You know, whoever has the kingdom will have abundance. And they will have abundance. Whoever does not have the kingdom, even what they have will be taken from them. Wow, really? We're going to see. We're going to see. Can you keep it? We're going to see. And then he goes to telling us parables, right? And then, if we just trolley over to is it? Oh, it's a couple of things, because once I open it up, it just starts flowing in. The messages start coming in. They just start coming in. What was it? Yeah, there you go. Pull it up. John 6. John 6. Watch this. So there was a lot of people following the Christ. And guess what they did? John 6 says it all. Right? On hearing this, John 6 and 60, it says, on hearing this, many disciples said, this heart, because Jesus was telling them that he was the Messiah, and they would have to remember him and who he was. They couldn't accept that. They said, hold up, motherfucker. We all powerful, nigga. Who the fuck are you? And so Jesus was telling them, like, I'm that nigga, I'm that nigga. And people, and a lot of disciples was like, what? What? Yeah, go read it for yourself. And John 6 is right here. Jesus was letting the other disciples know who he was, and they couldn't accept it. They couldn't accept that shit. But I am God. Niggas couldn't accept it right here, right? Real shit. On hearing that, many disciples said, this is a hard teaching, who can accept it? Aware that the disciples were grumbling about this, Jesus said to them, does this offend you? Because I just told you who I was and what you're going to have to do to remember me? Then what if you see the Son of Man ascend to where he was before? The Spirit gives life and the flesh counts for nothing. They didn't even give me a countdown. You know what it is. This is still a real nigga challenge. Just turned into a download. Y'all come back on that. I hope y'all taking notes. We're in John 6. John 6, where Jesus starts telling them, look, I'm that nigga. I'm that nigga. Like, I am the Messiah. You must eat of my flesh and drink of my blood. Niggas start looking around and say, what? Oh, hell no. This nigga tripping. Nigga like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nah, nigga, we ain't with that shit. And he said, on hearing it, many disciples said, this is a hard teaching, who can accept it? Aware his disciples were grumbling about this, Jesus said to them, does this offend you? Then what if you see the Son of Man ascend to where he was before? The Spirit gives life. He wasn't talking about his flesh and blood. Wasn't talking about his flesh and blood. You see motherfuckers do communion. He said the flesh doesn't count for nothing. The Spirit gives life. The mind, nigga. The Christ consciousness was the true eating of Jesus. Eat of my flesh and drink of my blood. It means my mind, nigga. He was telling them, the Spirit gives life, the flesh counts for nothing. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit. This is what he was telling them in life. This is what you have to eat. How many of y'all went to communion? How many of y'all doing communion to this day? It's the Antichrist, because he wasn't talking about his actual flesh, bread, and wine. No, nigga. He says it right here. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. The Spirit gives life. The flesh counts for nothing. So I'm not telling you to eat my fucking body and drink my blood, nigga. I'm telling you to accept my mind. Marry my mind. he said, yet there are some of you who do not believe. For Jesus had already known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray him. But wait a minute, betray him. There was other disciples that betrayed Jesus. I thought only Judas betrayed Jesus. Well, right here it says, many disciples betrayed Jesus. Really? Could it be Melnation and everybody that left Chief is a betrayer? Is one of his disciples that betrayed him? Could it be?